Good Sunday morning, everybody. Danny Shay, Sunday with Spirit. This is not a tarot card pull for my people that are new to Sunday with Spirit. I like to think that we are a circle of like-minded people gathering around. It could be like fire, smokeless, non-destructive. And we're just tapping into spirit. See what kind of messages they have to say on this Sunday morning. And to the people in the U.S., happy 4th of July. Be safe. Take care of your pets. Oh my gosh. And it's so hot out there. Just be careful of walking your pets on hot asphalt. Keeping them in cars. Oof, oof. Anyway, we can go off on a whole nother tangent. So, there's so much that I've been thinking about since I came back from Shasta and in Shasta. Very magical place, very spiritual place. And uh, I'm, the things that I've been thinking about is what is holding me back from experiencing new spiritual things, new way of looking at things. So a lot of you know that I was raised Catholic, and I remember the first time that I questioned the religion, and I told one of my mentors at that time, I said, I'm walking away. It's doesn't serve me. And this particular mentor was just shocked. And he goes, no, you can't walk away. You have to have your faith. But religions are man-made. Spirit, the God force, is, I don't know. I don't know who made it. But it seems to be a better, we get to create, and I think it's we get to create that God force in how we think. Maybe, I don't know. But, okay. I may be getting off down the rabbit hole here. Maybe that's for another time. Do we create the God force? I mean, it could be a good Sunday with Spirit, but I think I need to do a little bit more meditation on that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was saying earlier, they asked me, talk more about grounding. I know Medium Kim did something on it, and so I'm just going to touch on this. I don't think it needs to be big unless we have a lot of crap on our shoulders that we have to get rid of. A number of different ways to move from this current reality that we're in to another reality. Is this jumping? Is my screen jumping? Anyway, if we're stuck in this place and we need to be grounded more in spiritual things, and I guess it depends on what you need to be grounded in. If you need to be grounded in a task, then that's what you need to focus on, the task at hand. Don't let anything else get in the way. It's the task that you need to be grounded in. If you're going to be grounded in spiritual matters, tapping into the God force, into your guides, your angels, your loved ones, then that's going through a different veil, and I liken it to just going through like this gray, I have a gray room that I go through. And it could be a veil that you have to pop through. In shamanic cultures, it's this popping through this veil, this fog, this something from this plane to the next. So when we're grounding ourselves, we can use certain rituals, smudge sticks that you can use. You can take stone, right, and hang on to it. There are other stones that you can use, selenite, to just ground yourself into another place. You can pick up dirt and hold the dirt. The biggest way that you can change that whole thing is by just sitting still and taking a couple of deep breaths. That seems to work really, really well for me. And we forget to breathe. So often we forget to breathe. And then we don't have to worry about grounding ourselves. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's take a look at what I'm going to try to go for here. All right. Hope y'all can see that. Kick them over it a little bit. Take off my Michael Jackson glove. All right. So when I'm thinking about us as light workers, where we're going, what we need to do, and I think about what I need to let go of in order to experience something new. I thought of the different ways of the light workers that we are, and I heard this in a podcast that I thought it was really intriguing. Here we have the God Source, Spirit, and the card that I pulled was Starseed. So certainly when we think of the God Source, we think up into the heavens. Well, I do anyway. Up into the heavens, and we want to bring that energy down through our crown chakra and allow it to filter down through, it is jumping, through us and down into Mother Earth, and to ground us into Mother Earth. And then, so what's the next level? What's number 2? We have the God Source. What's the next thing? Well, coming from my Christian background, Jesus was a healer. So I have healers. And that healer is a caretaker, spiritual caretaker. I go, okay, got it, cool. All right. What about the ones who just sit around and go, Om? The meditators, the quiet ones, the Buddhist, the religious folk that just think, meditate, quiet. When I grew up, there was a Carmelite monastery and have a vow of silence. I know some of you are thinking, boy, I wish sometimes you'd have a vow of silence. Now, come on now. But the quiet ones, the meditation, they have knowledge. They're tapping into knowledge. Now, I don't know if they have a vow of silence, how they get that knowledge out. That's an interesting question. But Buddhism, they don't have a vow of silence and they do get the knowledge out. Going back to the star seed, we have to tap into Gaia, into Mother Earth. And so we have the earth workers. Gaia as number 4. And I got simplicity. So often we try to overthink things, over process things, and it should be more simple. You know, we shouldn't be fortifying foods. We should just have raw foods. Just basic things. And that's too simplistic, you know that. And then the other one are the anchors. People who are doing compassionate actions. And you look at these people and you go, wow. Well, I do. Wow. How do you do that? How do you go to work every day and deal with that? With the devastation, the hurt, the losses. Every day you go in there and you deal with homelessness or whatever it is. And the card that I got is fearless. Right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, in order. Very cool, huh? We all happy with that? I'm not. So let's mix them up. Because is there a 1? Is there a 2? Is there a 3? Is there a 4? Is there a 5? I don't know. If you have the God force without compassionate action, what good is the God force? So who's more important, the compassionate action for us? What about the earth keepers? Who's more important? So today, and it may change day to day, so let's look at what is more important to us today. Let's just see what is more important to us today. It's still God source. And it's being followed by the anchors. And then the earth workers. And then the healers. And then the meditations. The quiet ones. Very cool. Now I'm using the same cards, and I may I think I'm going to throw the Shamanic cards on top of it. Let's just see where that goes. God source. I should look at this before I throw it up on the screen because I have no idea. You have more ideas about this than I do. What does God source say? Simplicity. Do we make God too complex? Do we make that God source too complex? Anchors, compassionate actions. Again, I got fearlessness, fearless. For me, I'll sit there and I'll say, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I don't want to do that. You know, I put like limits on what my compassionate actions are. I have compassionate thoughts, but my actions, that takes, I have a little bit of fear in there. And it's from the media, I guess, you know, like, oh, I heard about somebody giving somebody $5 or a dollar, who was on the street, and they said homeless. They had a sign, homeless or whatever, and they gave them some money, and then they get robbed, beat up. But that's just the media. We can protect ourselves with that, not with put a bubble around us. You know what I'm saying? Earthworkers, Gaia, caretaker. Certainly, this God source that's giving us anchors and compassionate actions is not going to be worth anything if we're not on this earth, if we don't take care of Gaia. And we're not going to fix it in a day. We just need to think about what we're doing and how that action that we do is going to fix things. Our electric car is going to fix things. They may help, but they're also going to create another problem. What's the other problem? Well, could be a number of things. Disposing of the batteries, whatever it is. We have to continue to think of what our actions are doing to Mother Earth. And the healers, we have starseed. I think of the healer on this earthly plane. They tap into spirit and a new energy, not a new energy. It's an old energy, but they tap into that for healing. And you look at Reiki and clearing your chakras and that kind of mental starseed energy that will heal us. It's not all about chemicals. It's about our attitudes and what we are hanging on to that's toxic. And then the quiet one's meditation. Now, this is the anchor of this column. And again, brings forth knowledge. All right. Let's I want to go back to God's source and simplicity. And in shamanic circles, it's all about going back to a basic, being simple. So let's see what my mystical shaman oracle cards have to say about that. It's about simplicity in the God source. And I got the gatherer, but it was in medicine position. And so when we're looking at this simplicity from the God source, when you gather things, when you collect things that you need from the God source, only take what you need. You can go off into tangents and go, oh, I want that. Oh, or you hear a new podcast. This is what's happening to me. So this is really my card. Sometimes I get caught up in the latest, greatest podcast that I just listened to. And sometimes you need to back away from that and say, is this serving me to the highest possible good? Only take what you need. When you are a gatherer, you can't take too much. Let's look at anchors and compassionate actions. Is my whole deck upside down? No. We have the medicine wheel. And that's upside down. So for me, this medicine wheel is, let me turn it right side up, it's all about acknowledging the direction that you're traveling in, is acknowledging what you need to bring into your life, what you need to release, who you need to listen to as far as the ancient ones and the direction you're traveling, as well as opening up to the God source and tapping into Gaia. So being in medicine position, it's calling on me to think about what the compassionate action is that we're actually working towards. Is it for our best interest? Is it sending us in the right direction? And making sure that we are tapped in to the whole thing, to the whole experience, not just one section of it. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does. Earthworkers and Gaia, caretaker. The curse in medicine position. The curse in medicine position. This goes back, for me, this is moving away from what we think was the right way to do things. Let's spray chemicals on all our foods so that the bugs won't eat it. We'll produce more food. Well, yeah, maybe, but it's a little more toxic. So that's the curse. And we're flipping that upside down. We're changing that. The healers, starseed. Wow, all of them. This is weird. I mean, look, see, I do have one card that's right side up. The healers, we have the moon in medicine position. The moon in medicine position. Are we stuck in one phase? We need to realize, when I look at this card, I'm going, there's different phases of the moon, but we may not be acknowledging them nor going with the flow. We're just stuck in one place. Stuck in our religion that I believe in, and not allowing another way to come in, another thought, another possibility. And the last one, we have the quiet ones, the people who meditate, who are bringing out knowledge. They're all in medicine. They're all upside down. Whoops, sorry. And it's interesting. stand still. Stand still in meditation, in medicine position. And this lets me know that the quiet ones, that we're not doing enough of the quiet time, not doing enough of the meditation. We're letting too much come in, and we're not letting the knowledge come through because we're upside down. We're not getting quiet. And that goes back to the meditation thing. Breathing, just setting some time aside just to breathe and turn off the electronics and things. It was so nice being out in a place for a week where I didn't watch the news. By the way, nothing happened. Nothing new happened. It was the same old. So it's interesting for me looking at this. There is no 1 through 5 in any order. I mean, I can take these cards and shuffle them up again, and we get different meanings off of each one of these. But the God source isn't going to help us if we no longer have an earth. And the God source isn't going to help us if we can't quiet our minds down to hear it, to hear the messages. And we're not going to be healed. Well, who cares? We're not here if we don't have Mother Earth. And if we don't have compassionate action, if we don't have that anchor, then everything falls apart a little bit, doesn't it? So whatever light worker we are, somebody that's constantly tapped in, or somebody that's just quiet and thinking, we all have a role in how we are creating this planet. And that's all I have to say on this Sunday. I can keep going, as you know, but I need to, where's my camera? Stand still. All right. Thank you all for watching. Have a great Sunday. Peace and love. Be safe out there.